No, going green in the UK seems like a bit of a shoot in the arse, to be honest. When we look at this house, we take the last house and the house before, no insulation, if not bare minimal insulation. You are not. The only time that you're going green is you personally going green. But yet, while these houses are just leaking out all the heat, what's that?
Yeah.
No insulation around the windows.
Exactly. That's not green, is it?
No, it defeats the object.
Energy.
It's not about that, is it? It's about making the energy company as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And their profits are going up. That's not green and that's not logical. What is the point in it's okay to waste storage heater heat, which are far more expensive than what it is to have a fire? So it's okay to leak heat from your house if it's in terms of storage heater and you pay the energy company as much money as possible. But it's not okay to do it if you're burning a coal fire. You see, that's the bit that doesn't make any sense to me. And to go green here, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. It's almost like they have done literally no changes. Housing associations, mainly, private landlords, have done no changes to their building. Bare minimum. It's not enough. So to say that you're going to go green, it really ain't. Because what you're doing is heating the environment far more quicker. And you've got to look at some of this could be natural. Our orbit, the planet's orbit around the sun. Sometimes a little close, sometimes a little bit further away. The core is never fixed in one place. I believe that that's a little bit hit and miss. I know I'll probably get slapped for green on my make sure you look up the advice, but I think people can see through it for what it really is. If you've got a house that's leaking out tons of heat through the windows, through holes in the wall, through cracks in the foundation, through lacking of insulation in the loft,
you're wasting energy.
You're wasting energy, but it's okay to do that because you're paying for it.
And heating the environment.
And then you're heating every single room with storage heaters, whereas a coal fire would only be in your front room. And you'd heat the water, and that would circulate around your house. So, no, I don't agree with that. And it just seems to me that to go green here in the UK meant to pay more money to companies. Hybrid, very good. But green, fully, nah, it was a piss take from the beginning, I think, because companies just got rich off it. That's it, power companies got rich.
In their whatever they get, extra money.
Yeah, and I mean, what are the councils good at? Nothing. They can't enforce it. What's the point? Environmental health? What is the point? There's nothing they can do about it. So, nah, I don't agree with this whole green arrangement, and all it is going to do is make energy companies more rich. You've now got storage heater in every single room that is discharging its heat into the room, and while you're trying to heat the room up, it's just not working. Why? Because it's just leaving us.
You have draft, you have damp.
I mean, the walls in here, and that's not insulated wall. The cavity wall insulation, as far as I'm concerned, is piss poor. Someone comes in, drills a hole, injects a load of stuff, walks away. Where's your thermal camera? How do you know that's lined the walls correctly? How do you know that every wall's got it? I mean, wouldn't that be a far more better approach in the United Kingdom to go around with thermal imaging cameras and look around the whole entire... Well, this hasn't been done properly. Hey, that needs a bit more in there. Hey, you've got holes here. And we've got rodents. Whether past or present, you've got rodents that chew through it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and if your house has ever had an infestation, has anybody come out? No. When you pull the council out, do they check it? No, they don't. They've got no equipment, and therefore they've got no power. And then try and make these housing associations do it. It's just not happening. So, the green agreement? Nah, it's just to make people rich. There's no point trying to go green in a house that is just shit.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't hold the heat. So, somewhere along the lines, you'd look at this as Russian engineering. That some of their buildings can cope with minus 30. So they tend to favour more insulating, yes? To make the houses more insulating. So, again, until you've got that here, that type of ingenuity, and combined it into a storage heater house, but the problem is with that you'd end up only using one storage heater to heat your house. That's the likeliness of it, and then you'll find that your storage heaters are too much. So, I don't know. There's a fine line between it. But
Don't Russian have log cabins in those areas?
I believe so, yeah. Well, wood is a good insulator, isn't it?
Well, insulated log cabins.
But no, we've got this weird styrofoam stuff. Not styrofoam, fiberglass.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then with all the holes in the... You get the wind blow through the house. That blows all that fiberglass out into the air. You breathe it.
But when someone checks, they only go into your loft and never check the walls. Only check...
Yeah, here in the UK it's all done by visually. What you can see visually. And, well, if that wall was like... They assume, because they see all of that patterning on the outside of the wall. Here it's very much like that. They can see those little imprints. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And they come round and someone come to check to make sure the house was all insulated. All they did was drill a hole in the wall and stick a camera in it. And just had a quick look in 2 areas. That's it. But yeah, if I had thermal imaging and I went around the whole entire house, you would see it. Oh, there's a cold spot there. Oh wait, there's no insulation in that corner at all. But it's still got those drill holes, like where someone's made it look like they've put insulation in it. But they haven't. It's not there. So, yeah, I just find some of this stuff really... Nah. There's no point half-assing it. So, for the United Kingdom to say, well, we're going green, that's bollocks. That's absolute rubbish, as far as I'm concerned. Why are you going half in?
Yeah, only with moss and green mold.
Yeah, the only time we're going, green is like I've said repeatedly, is with mold inside houses. And even that is causing a problem. You see, when you go green, it seems like the houses seem to sweat even more with storage heaters. And there's mold. Nothing but mold. Mold is increasing. That's got a far more worse health risk. Most of the houses can't be fully greened and insulated because of the asbestos within it. Councils don't even know what is asbestos and what isn't. The reports that they do are... we just cut corners here so much. The problem isn't all so much the individuals and let's tax. Nah, let's make them rich. That's not the way to do it. Either you're going in fully and properly or you just don't bother. And I guess if that's something that America sees here, why would you want that there? You would go against all of the freedoms of people in America, and it's just... I can assure you, from someone speaking from this perspective outwards, you don't want it. You don't want it. It'll wreck your house. You'll have tons of little bit of dust particles flying around your house. Mold will grow. And then you'll have, either you will have the expense if you own your house. I don't know how quite it's structured there, but if you're privately renting it, there's no way on this earth here that they're going to pay for that to be done. Because the house was never built with that in mind. So it's an old house and you're trying to wrap it up. It's just not working. So, and then you've got so many people cutting corners. And they know that they're cutting corners, but do you think they up the technology to try and... No, do they, hell? They'll just let them get away with it. So, you know, now you're all right, thanks. And I find this more wasteful. I find this more wasteful than having a little fire going. I think a smaller fire that is efficient enough, I think it's much more better than this whole storage heater thing. Yeah, it's cheaper, it's warmer, you can do more with it. This with a storage heater, man, it's expensive, really expensive. And if you've got solar panels on your roof, that goes into the pocket of the housing association. And they give you the house under the false promise that with solar panels, you'll have cheaper energy bill, but they can't prove it. They can't prove how much you've saved in that time.
They put storage heaters in.
They put storage heaters in, there are holes everywhere. You just get greedy people, so I don't know. And then they tell you, oh, you'll get cheaper energy bills. No, you don't. No, you don't. And then they say to you, they wrap you up so you can't turn it off to test it. You do it in a different way. So you can't test whether you're getting this. And when you ask them to prove it, like these housing associations, they say to you, well, it just reduces it. By how much? Well, we don't know. You mean to tell me that you're giving away energy, but you don't know how much you're giving away?
I can't believe that.
So I'm not noticing a cheapness in my energy bill. And when I've tried to ask them to prove this to me, because they've got access to your... they know when you turn off your electricity in your house and when you haven't used any. They can see all of what you use. And then they can use that of whether you're in the house or not. By, oh, they're using less energy? So it's a big risk at the end of the day. So if you ever be burgled, they know when you're not in. Based on the energy that you're not giving to them. It's just been one big spit in the face, to be honest, and this whole solar panels rubbish. It goes into the pocket of the already greedy corporation, and they won't utilise that to give you any decent insulation. They won't do repairs properly. I mean, what's the point? What is the point? So, no, that is not going green, truly. So, I don't know. From me, going through this experience, the idea of it sounds really good because you want to lower your carbon footprint and you want to do good for the environment. Oh man, but when you're going through it, it's so much piss take that it makes you wonder if it's all worth it. Because you have to go green, but the corporation, the housing association, the private landlord, they don't have to.
They will waste as much energy as they can. That's very good.
And round here in Britain, you can tell who owns their house by who's burning. Some individuals have got massive log fires going. You're not allowed to have them. So the only repair that my landlord did was when I told him that I was thinking about having a fire here. Well, they soon went and blocked the chimney up when I said that. They demolished that as quick as that. You get them out to come and fix a window latch on a window, because I'm not allowed to do it here. We got rules that you can't do that, because I'll be in jeopardy of my tenancy, start a tenancy, so I'm not allowed to touch or do repairs.
Yeah.
So they leave that one for like the best part of a year, but yet the chimney, as soon as I mention that I'm thinking about asking if I can have a fire here, because of the amount of damp that's in this building, it was never built to have storage heaters, it was built to have fires in it. They come and block the chimney off immediately, like weeks of after mentioning it. They come straight away. Oh, we won't be letting you do that. Well, why not? Well, because we've got solar panels on the roof and storage heaters make us enough money as possible. So just think on about that. I don't think that's a life you would want. It's quite miserable, to be honest, and you're always cold even with the storage heater. I don't know. It's weird.